Hi everybody, and we're back to lesson 2-3, subtracting integers. On the board I have a bell ringer ready for you to go, and if you just want to look at them quickly to make sure you remember how to do this from last lesson, that would be awesome. Some of you maybe use tiles, cats and dogs. I think a lot of you probably go with cats and dogs, or you just think about it in your head, whatever you want to do as long as you get the answer right. So let's just quick go through these. 9 plus negative 10. If you think about it, you have 9 dogs and 10 cats. You can make 9 zero pairs. That's going to leave you with 1 cat, so -1. I'm going to go down here, 23 plus -5. 5 cats, 23 dogs. I can make 5 zero pairs. I'm going to subtract 5 out. That's going to leave me with 18. Then I get -13 plus 13, 0. They all cancel. 2 plus -8, that gives me a -6. 19 plus 12 would be just a regular 31, and then -20 plus -34. I have a trouble with these a lot. A lot of kids get these wrong because they automatically assume that you can cancel things out. You don't always need to cancel things out. You have you have 20 cats, and then you added 30 more cats in. Well, altogether you have -54. So just a quick refresher. If you can add today, if you can add integers, you can do this. Now I'm going to skip through a few things here to do this so it's short and sweet. Big rule, and you probably remember it from last year. So if you need to write it down, circle it, star it, highlight it, put a marker on it, do something so you remember this. This is the most important thing for today. Subtracting a number is the same as adding the opposite. Last year, we used KCC. This meant keep. And then I have 2 C's. That means change. And we'll talk about how to use this again. This is the shortcut you can use on your papers. All I ask is please, please, please write things out and then do your keep, change. If you don't, you're going to get something wrong. You have got to start writing things out in your paper, and this is one of them. If you remember from last year, as soon as we learned keep, change, we used it the whole year, so it's something you have to remember. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with this one. I have -8. Come on. I was going to move it, but I guess I'm not. Oh, there we go. -8 minus -6. Okay, so you're going to keep, change. You're going to keep the first thing. And then the next 2 signs you're going to change. So if it's subtraction, you're going to change it to a plus sign, and you're going to change the next sign to the opposite of what it is. So if this is a negative, this is going to become a positive. Now I'm going to rewrite it so we can see what it looks like. -8 plus 6 would be a -2. So your goal today is to pretty much get everything to addition. And after that, you should be able to go ahead and add just like we did yesterday. So the only thing that's different is we're starting subtraction, and then you're going to break it down to an addition problem. Let's do a few more. So I'm going to let's do 81 minus 4. My board's been really slow to react lately. So 81 minus 4, I'm going to keep. I'm going to change, and I'm going to change. Now, these are the ones students get wrong the most because they don't change the last sign. If you change the middle sign, you have to change the last one. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to change this, and since this is a +4, this was a +4, I'm going to change it to a -4. So -81 plus -4, then your addition would be -85. Okay, let's do another. Let's do 140 minus 9. We'll do the one down here. So I'm going to keep, change. Everything's just a tad slow. Okay, so I'm going to keep this, change this. My new problem is 140 plus 9. I get 149. So same thing up here. If I go back up here, it'd be keep, change. This is what it would look like. -32 plus -28. Okay, and this one over here would be a keep, change. Change this. I got to change this. It would be -15 plus 25, and then you would solve like you would normally solve. Now, many times I have people ask me, when do I need to use keep, change? Let's say, when do I need to use? When to use KCC. Okay, so number 1, subtraction is involved. You have to have a subtraction sign. The second thing, you have to have a negative number inside. It doesn't matter if the number is first or last. You have to have these two things to use KCC. Okay? There's a exception though. Here's the other exception. You have to have subtraction again. Okay? And the second thing is if the second number, oh, I spelled that wrong. If the second number is bigger than the first. For example, if I have 3 minus 12, this is the time I could use keep, change, change. I have subtraction, and then my second number is bigger than the first. This is the time I could use it. This is what it would look like then. I'm going to keep, change, change. This would be a plus, this would be a negative. Now this is what the problem would look like. And it would give you the same answer as 3 minus 12. So these are the two things you have to be looking for. Is it a subtraction problem? If then yes, okay, go to the next one. Is there a negative number somewhere? If there is, and you have both of these things, you have to use keep, change, change. Or if there's a subtraction and the second number is bigger than the first, that's the time you could use keep, change, change also. If it's an addition problem already, not necessary because it was already KCC'd for you, if that makes sense. So the only times that you use it are these things that I talk to you on the board. Here's an example of a story problem. This is the highest elevation in the U.S. is 2,893 feet above sea level, and the lowest elevation is 452 feet below sea level. What is the range? AKA, what's the difference? They want to know how many feet are from 2,893 feet above and 452 below. If you want to, I kind of like drawing a picture for these. So this is how I would draw it. This would be my sea level. Okay, and then this would be 2,893 feet. Down here, 452 feet. So they want to know how many feet are in between all of this. So the easiest way to do that is to take 2,893 minus a negative 452. You might be wondering why I put a parentheses around that. A lot of times we just do that to keep the subtraction and the negative away from each other. Another thing I want to remind you of that when you start doing subtraction, write it in a line like this and not up and down. If you start writing it up and down, you're going to get even more confused. So if you write it in a line, it's easy to see the keep, change, change already. So keep, change, 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 change. So really, it turns into an addition problem. And this would be your answer. That would be your answer. So making sure that you're lining things up, that you are including the negative, like there's so many important things to think about, especially with this. So I'm going to do a few on the board for you, and I want to make sure you have a few more examples in your notebook. So why don't you go ahead and do these for me? Do these. Okay, so go ahead and do those in your notebook. Make sure you have some kind of example, would be a really, really good idea. Make sure you're showing keep, change, change. Make sure you're taking a good note to make sure you know how to do it. Another thing you should maybe note is difference. The word difference means subtract. Some of you have problems with knowing keywords. No keywords. Another good idea is to rewrite problems if you're not sure. Help yourself out. This would be 23 or 20. Oh my gosh, 22. This one over here. Okay, this would be a negative 22. Okay, make sure you take good notes. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see you tomorrow.